Question 19, Mrs. Caine.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would like to ask the Minister for Environment, Food and Agriculture what progress has been made with delivering the Isle of Man's first Biodiversity Strategy 2015 to 2025, and if he will make a statement.
Minister to reply.
Thank you, Mr. President. You'll be pleased to know this is very short. I'm happy to announce that a mid-term audit has been drafted and will be published on the website shortly. There has been good progress made in many aspects of the plan, which is only halfway through its term. This remains an important piece of work for the Department and complements the climate change initiative through seeking to enhance and protect our biodiversity for the impacts of climate change. Thank you.
Mrs. Caine.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm very pleased to hear there'll be a mid-term audit. I'd just like to inquire, though, if you could give any indication what has been achieved. As we're halfway through, the strategy talked about a 2-year delivery plan. Was that developed? Was it implemented? What has been achieved?
Minister to reply.
As I indicated, Mr. President, in the original answer, the audit has been drafted and will be published shortly. It's a complex document. This is a substantial strategy with 46 actions and activity across the community. I would not wish to give a superficial answer, as a full answer can be provided shortly and be considered as a whole by everyone with an interest.
Honourable Member for Council, Mr. Mercer.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to ask the Minister how many of the 20 Aichi targets have been met, and why has the delivery plan promised in 2015 as part of this strategy been delayed by 5 years?
Minister to reply.
Once again, I thank the Honourable Member for his question. I can't answer that in detail. I'm very happy to revert to all members in writing at a later date. So I will follow that up from the department, from people who are obviously on the ground and dealing with it every day. Thank you.
Honourable Member, Mr. Henderson.
Could I ask the Shevchuk, in round terms or overview terms, he's indicated this audit's on the way, welcome. Could he indicate at the very least that some of the initial actions that were highlighted, that some activity has actually occurred?
Minister.
Mr. President, I think I indicated there are 46 actions and a number of those have been undertaken, and the report will allow people to see how far along the process we are. We are only 50% way through the 10-year period, and my own feeling is, having looked at it superficially, members will be pleased with what has been achieved to date.
Final supplementary, Mrs. Caine.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd just like to query with the Minister what dedicated resources support this strategy in terms of budget and staff. Does the Minister feel the strategy has been adequately resourced with dedicated people trying to deliver what was in that strategy?
Minister.
Thank you, Mr. President. In terms of resource, obviously everything we do is resource hungry, but I can tell you that there are 2.5 staff plus a warden and sometimes a manager dedicated to biodiversity work. So it's not something that's done on a casual basis. It's something that has a dedicated staff driving the process forward.
My apologies to Mr. Thomas. He had caught my eye. Mr. Thomas.
Thank you, Mr. President. This member is particularly interested in actions 9 and 10, especially in the light of the fact that the biodiversity and the ecosystem aspect has been amplified in the climate change response. So could the Minister, if he has any influence at this stage, make sure the audit covers action 9 and 10 on all of the audits and survey work?
Minister.
Without access to the document and the draft at the moment, I cannot comment in detail on actions 9 and 10, but I'm happy to research and revert back to members in due course on that. Thank you.